For this video, we will be talking about section 5.2, but this is day 2, writing equations in slope-intercept form. So day 1 was point-slope form. Now we're moving into day 2, which is slope-intercept form. Little bit of vocab here. An equation of the form y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept, is written in slope-intercept form. This should be a review from 4.3. We also have Hoy-Vux, which if you remember stands for certain things. This again comes from 4.3. This should not be new information at all. Hoy stands for horizontal line, zero slope. The equation is y equals a number. Vux stands for vertical line, undefined slope, and the equation is x equals a number. So if you need to, take a moment, pause the video, write down Hoy-Vux. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and move right along here. Just like day 1's notes, we actually have 2 sets of instructions here on how to write an equation and I just realized there's a major typo on your notes. This should definitely not say point slope form. That was from day 1. So these tables actually talk about writing equations of lines in slope intercept form. Please fix that in your notes. Unless yours says slope-intercept form, if I caught it in time, you don't have to worry about that. But if yours says point-slope form, please, please, please cross it out. These are directions to write an equation in slope-intercept form. 2 very, very different end answers here. So with that being said, writing equations of lines in slope-intercept form, if you're given the slope in 1 point, there is a set of instructions for that. And then if you're given 2 points, there's instructions for that as well. So kind of similar to the day 1 notes for point slope form, we're going to be using the first set of instructions on the front, second set of instructions on the back side. So looking at 1, 2, and 3, we notice we are given a slope and a point. So if we go through those steps really quick. Again, let the x and y coordinates be x1 and y1. Substitute the values of m, x1, and y1 into the equation of a line in point slope form. And then we're going to convert to slope-intercept form by distributing and then isolating y. We will talk about what all of that means in just one moment. So the question I usually get is, well, why can we not just put it into slope-intercept form? And it's a great question, because in order to put an equation into slope-intercept form, you have to know the slope, which in this case we do. We know the slope is 2, so that's part of what we need to know. But then slope-intercept form also requires that you know the y-intercept. In this case, we don't know the y-intercept. All we know is this ordered pair 1, 5. So if all you know is a point and a slope, then we have to do it in point slope form. And then from there, it's nice because we can convert it to slope intercept form. So if we remember, point slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So then we're just going to plug all of those numbers in. So we would have y minus 5 equals m, which is 2, times x minus 1. And again, the 5 and the 1 just came from the ordered pair there. After that, we're going to convert this to slope-intercept form. If you remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Our goal here is to get y by itself. Looking at number 1, in order to get y by itself, I have to add 5 to both sides. But the problem is I can't add 5 yet because there are parentheses on the other side. And the only way to get rid of those parentheses is to distribute first. So we're going to take this 2 and we're going to distribute it. So we have y minus 5 equals 2 times x is 2x, 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Then I'm able to add that 5 to both sides, again, lining up my like terms here. So cross those out. We have y equals, the 2x stays the same, negative 2 plus 5 would be plus 3. Now this is in slope-intercept form because it's y equals mx plus b. So that would be our final answer here. Looking at number 2, again, same thing here. Put it into point slope form and then convert to slope-intercept form. So we would have y minus negative 5 turns into y plus 5 equals 5/3 for our slope, times x minus x1 would be x minus negative 3, turns into a plus 3. Then from here, we distribute. Now, distributing this one's going to be a little bit trickier because we're distributing a fraction, which is totally okay. We're going to talk about it. So y plus 5 just gets brought down, equals 5/3 times x is just 5/3 x. Then we have 5/3. We're going to show our work down here a little bit. 5/3 times 3. Technically, it's 3 over 1. So when we multiply fractions, we multiply across the top and across the bottom. So 5 times 3 is 15 over 3 times 1 is 3. So across the top across the bottom. Then we simplify if we can. So 15 divided by 3 would be 5. So then when we multiplied that 5/3 times 3, this would give us plus 5 because it's positive 5. Then from here, if we subtract 5 from both sides, you will notice something's going to happen here. Y equals, these 5's cancel out, but these 5's also cancel out. So then all we're left with is 5/3 x. There's our final answer in slope-intercept form. Looking at number 3, again, point-slope form, y minus 3 equals -1 times x minus 2. And again, we're putting it into point-slope form because that's the only information we have. We have a point and we have a slope, and that's it. So put it in point-slope form, then we can convert it to slope-intercept form by distributing. So y minus 3 equals -x plus 2. And then add or subtract whatever value is next to y. So then we have y equals -x stays the same, 2 plus 3 is plus 5. And that would be our final answer in slope-intercept form. So with that being said, we know that it's coming on the backside. So we're going to go up here really quick. If we are given 2 points, we have to find the slope using the slope formula. Wow, another typo here. Slope has an E at the end of it, so find the slope using the slope formula. Choose one of the 2 points to use. Follow the steps for writing an equation in point-slope form given the slope in 1 point, so basically the steps that we just got done doing on 1, 2, and 3, and then convert just like we did at the end of 1, 2, and 3. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the backside. Okay, looking at 4 and 5, 4 and 5 actually are kind of the same types of problems as 1, 2, and 3 on the front. They give us a point and a slope. However, something is different about these 2 problems. If I see a slope of 0, I should automatically be thinking of Hooy-Vux. If I think of Hooy-Vux, the slope being 0 is part of Hoy. So then we know that we have to use information about Hoy. Horizontal line, 0 slope, equation is y equals a number. Using that information, though, we know that we have to write an equation in slope-intercept form. Y is my equation letter, and then remember from the front, it's y equals a number. Well, in this case, we can write that right here, actually. Y equals a number, but in this case, we need to figure out what number. Since it's y, we're going to use the y value of the ordered pair, and our answer here is y equals -8, and that's it. No work to show, no point slope form necessary here because the slope is 0. 0 and undefined are very, very specific, and if you know Hooy-Vux, that shortcut is going to save you a lot of time. So then again, looking at number 5 here, again, if I see the slope being undefined, I should automatically be thinking of Hooy-Vux. Now in this case, undefined is part of Vux, so we know that we have to use one piece of information from that. Again, we're still trying to write the equation. The equation in Vux is the x letter, and the x stands for x equals a number. So again, we know it's going to be x equals something. We need to figure out what that something is. Since it's x, we're going to use the x value from the ordered pair, and our answer here is x equals 7. So again, Hooy-Vux, big lifesaver. If you remember it and you remember what every little piece is, once one of those pieces of information comes up, you should automatically start thinking about Hooy-Vux. So moving on from there, 6, 7, 8, and 9 all have 2 points given to us, but we need to write an equation in slope-intercept form. So again, slope-intercept form, we have to know the slope, which looking at number 6, we don't know the slope. So that's going to be our first step here. We're going to have to find the slope. And again, these steps are on the front side of your notes. So find the slope. We have m equals y2 would be -6 minus y1 would be -4 over x1 would be, x2 would be 3 minus x1 would be -2. We have some double negatives here to clean up. So the -6 minus 4 would be -10 over 3 plus 2 is 5. Our slope is -2. So now that we have our slope, if I knew the y-intercept, I could plug it straight into slope-intercept form. We don't, though. We only have 2 ordered pairs. So with that being said, step 2 is going to be pick a point and put in point slope form. So then picking a point, I see that both of them have a negative in it. I'm going to go ahead and just pick the first ordered pair here. pick a point and then put it in point slope form. So we have y minus 4 equals, our slope is -2 times x minus -2 would be plus 2. Then from here, we convert to slope-intercept form. So in order to do that, again, this is very similar to the front side. We distribute first. So we would have y minus 4 equals -2 times x would be -2x. -2 times 2 would be minus 4 or -4. Then we're going to add 4 to both sides to get that away from the y. So in this case, the 4's again cancel out, kind of like one of the problems on the front. So we have y equals -2x, and that would be our final answer. So then looking at number 7, again, we have no slope given to us, so we're going to have to find that first. So step 1, find the slope. M equals 1 minus 5 over -2 minus 6. So then this would give us -4 over -8. 2 negatives makes a positive. 4 over 8 simplifies to 1/2. Remember, if we divide both top and bottom by 4, that would give us that 1/2 there. After that, pick a point. Let's choose 6, 5, since they're both positive. People like to typically choose that one. And we're going to put it in point slope form. So y minus 5 equals slope, which is 1/2, times x minus 6. After that, step 3, convert to slope-intercept form. So we're going to distribute first. So y minus 5 equals 1/2 times x is just 1/2 x. Half of -6 would be -3. Then we're going to add 5 to both sides. And then we have y equals 1/2 x stays the same. -3 plus 5 would be plus 2. And that would be our final answer in slope-intercept form. Next, we have 8 and 9. So again, step 1, find the slope first. So m equals 6 minus 4 over -9 minus a -9. We have some double negatives there to clean up. So then we have 6 minus 4 is 2 over -9 plus 9 would be 0. 0 on the bottom. Our slope here would be undefined. Now again, kind of similar to the 2 on the top. The minute I see something about a slope being undefined, I should automatically be thinking of VUX. Now, we're writing the equation of the line. The equation has to do with x. It's x equals a number, so then we go up to our ordered pairs. Notice what the x value is for both ordered pairs. It is both -9. So then that means x has to equal -9, and that's our final answer. So again, undefined, 0, shortcut. There's not much work to show here. So then looking at number 9, again, put it in slope-intercept form. Step 1 is going to be to find the slope. So m equals 3 minus 3 on top over 8 minus 0. This would give us 0 on top. 8 minus 0 is 0. So then if 0 is on top, our slope is 0. Again, 0 or undefined, we should automatically think of Hoy VUX. If it's 0, this is going to be part of Hoy. And again, if our end goal here is to write the equation of the line, y is the letter that represents what our equation is. It's y equals a number. So I know it's y equals, go to my ordered pair. The y values for both ordered pairs match. They are 3. So then this answer will be y equals 3. On 8 and 9, if you go to write x equals a number or y equals a number, those x values or y values have to match. If they don't match, then you have definitely done something wrong. So just know that going into doing your homework in a little bit. Looking at number 10, we have a word problem. Lydia wants to purchase guitar lessons. She sees a sign that gives her prices for 7 guitar lessons for $82. So that's our first ordered pair. And then 11 guitar lessons for 122 would be 11, 122. And then it says write an equation of the line in slope-intercept form. So we know our end goal is y equals mx plus b. However, we don't know our slope, so that's going to again be our first step here. So m equals, this is 122 minus 82 over 11 minus 7. So we have m equals, we would end up with 40 over 4. Our slope is 10. And then after that, we need to pick a point. Again, it doesn't matter which point we choose. I'm going to go and just choose 7, 82 since they're smaller numbers. And using that slope there, put it in point slope form and then convert to slope-intercept form. So point slope form would be sorry, y minus y1 would be y minus 82 equals m, which is 10, times x minus x1 is 7. That's our answer in slope, or I'm sorry, in point slope form. Now we need to convert to slope intercept form. So we distribute y minus 82. You will notice that every time we do these problems, the process is pretty repetitive here. So we have 10x minus 70 when we distribute, and then we're going to add 82 to both sides. And we would end up with y equals 10x plus 12, and that would be our final answer. Now, technically, it did say that we were supposed to write it in, let's see, the total cost C for D lesson. So theoretically, it would be C equals 10D plus 12. I really don't care if you use X or Y or the letters they provide. Typically speaking, we usually just use X and Y for everything. So I would be okay if you ignored the letters that they gave you. Theoretically, we should have used C and D, but it's a lot more confusing for people. So either way, totally fine. C is the total cost equals 10 times D lessons, so 10 times the number of lessons you purchase. And then it looks like there's plus $12, so maybe there's a $12 enrollment fee or a sign-up fee or whatever you want to call it. So there is our answer for slope-intercept form for number 10. And that is it for our notes.